Once upon a time, in a faraway kingdom called Zoroma, there lived a beautiful young princess named Amina. She had long black hair, soft brown eyes, and a smile that could light up the sky. But Amina was not happy. Even though she lived in a grand palace, wore silk dresses, and ate the finest food, she felt a hole inside her heart. Her father, King Bako, wanted her to marry. Amina, he said, you are 16 now. It is time to choose a husband. Princes from many lands are coming to meet you. You will pick one next month. Amina looked down. She didn't want a prince. She didn't want gold or castles. She wanted someone who made her feel alive. Someone who understood her heart. Her mother, Queen Tara, noticed her sadness. That night, she sat beside Amina in bed and whispered, "Follow the beat of your heart, my child. Even if it leads you far away." Amina nodded slowly. She didn't fully understand, but those words stayed in her soul. The next day, news spread across the land. The princess of Zoroma will choose a husband. Come one, come all. And so they came, princes with carriages, treasures, and promises. But none of them made Amina's heart skip. Until one night, a soft rhythm echoed through the palace walls. Boom ba boom, boom ba boom. It was not music from a prince. It was a drum, and it made Amina's heart dance. That night, Princess Amina couldn't sleep. She lay in her big soft bed, staring at the moonlight on her ceiling. But her heart was beating fast. Boom ba boom, boom ba boom. She heard the drum again. It wasn't loud. It was soft like a whisper carried by the wind. She stood up, tiptoed to the window, and opened it slowly. The palace garden below was quiet. The flowers were closed. The water in the fountain sparkled under the moon. And near the tall trees at the edge of the garden, there was a boy. He was sitting on a rock with a small wooden drum in his lap. He didn't wear rich clothes. His shirt was torn, and he had no shoes. But his eyes were closed, and he played the drum like it was part of his body. Princess Amina stared, her hand over her heart. The drum's rhythm felt like it was calling her name. Boom ba boom, Amina, ba boom. She wanted to call out to him, but she didn't know what to say. So she just watched. Suddenly, the boy stopped drumming. He looked up at her window, straight into her eyes. Amina gasped and stepped back. Her cheeks turned red. She waited, but he didn't shout or run. He just smiled, nodded, and walked away into the trees. The next morning, her maid servant Lila noticed Amina's dreamy look. You look like someone who saw a star fall, she said with a giggle. Amina smiled. Maybe I did, but she didn't tell anyone about the drummer boy. Not yet. She wasn't even sure if it was real or just a dream shaped like music. Still, every night after that, she waited at her window for the beat that made her heart feel alive. 3 nights passed. Princess Amina waited at her window each evening, hoping to hear the sound of the drum again. But the garden stayed quiet. No music, no boy, just the chirping of crickets and the soft splash of the fountain. Her chest felt heavy. Maybe he was just a dream, she thought sadly. But on the 4th night, just when the moon rose high, she heard it. Boom ba boom, boom ba boom. She ran to the window. There he was again, sitting on the same rock, eyes closed, hands dancing over the drum. This time, Amina didn't just watch. She grabbed her cloak, tiptoed past the guards, and snuck down the stairs. Her bare feet moved like the wind. She pushed open the garden door and stepped outside. The night air smelled like jasmine. The moon lit the path as she walked slowly toward him. The boy opened his eyes when she got close. He looked surprised, but he didn't move away. He just smiled and gently stopped playing. Why do you come here? Amina asked softly. He stood up. I didn't know this was your garden. I come here when no one listens to me. The trees like music. What's your name? She asked. Jabari, he said. It means brave. I'm Amina. I know, he said with a little bow. They both laughed quietly. Amina sat on the rock where he had been. Here again, she whispered. Jabari looked unsure. You're a princess. I'm just a drummer boy. You're not just anything, Amina said. So Jabari cleared, and Amina closed her eyes. The rhythm flowed into her soul like water into a thirsty flower. That night, her heart didn't feel empty anymore. And that was the beginning of something secret and beautiful. The kingdom of Zoroma was full of noise and excitement. Horses trotted through the palace gates. Servants ran back and forth. Trumpets played cheerful songs as one prince after another came to win the heart of Princess Amina. Prince Tahir came first. He brought a crown made of diamonds. "For you, my princess," he said proudly. "Marry me, and I will build you a palace of gold." Amina smiled politely, but her heart stayed quiet. Next came Prince Musa from the desert. He rode a camel with silver saddles and gave Amina a scarf woven with threads of sunlight. "I can give you a kingdom that never sleeps," he said. Still, her heart didn't move. More princes came, strong ones, rich ones, handsome ones. They danced, told stories, gave gifts, and made big promises. But none of them made Amina's heart beat like boom, ba boom. Every evening after smiling through endless introductions, Amina would sneak out into the garden. Jabari was always waiting. No gold, no gifts. Just his drum. "I don't belong here," Jabari told her one night. "If your father finds out, he'll throw me out." Amina shook her head. "I don't care what he says. I'd rather listen to your drum than any of their songs." "But I have nothing," Jabari said. "No money, no title, no crown. You have your music," Amina whispered. "And when you play, I feel like I can fly." The two of them sat side by side under the stars. No guards, no rules, no thrones. Just a girl and a boy, and the beat of something growing between them. But deep inside, Amina knew, soon, she would have to choose. And not everyone would be happy with her answer. The next morning, Princess Amina was called into the throne room. King Bako sat on his golden chair, his face serious. Queen Tara stood beside him, looking worried. "Amina," the king said, "many suitors have come from far and wide. It is time to choose your husband. The royal ball will take place in 3 days. You must make your choice that night." Amina's heart sank. "But what if I don't like any of them?" King Bako frowned. "You are a princess. Your heart must be strong, not soft. You must think of the kingdom, not feelings." Amina looked down, silent. The queen stepped forward. "Let her speak, Bako. Maybe her heart is telling her something." The king waved his hand. "Enough. She will choose at the ball. And may the best prince win." That night, Amina didn't go to the garden. She sat in her room, staring at her mirror. Her royal dress sparkled, but her eyes looked lost. What if her father found out about Jabari? What if he sent guards to chase him away? Or worse, caught him? She held her chest. Her heart still beat like a drum. Boom, ba boom. She missed Jabari. She needed to see him. So, quietly, she grabbed her cloak and crept into the garden. But Jabari wasn't there. "Jabari," she whispered. No answer. She waited for a long time. Then finally, she saw him, standing behind a tree, eyes full of fear. "I saw soldiers today," he said. "They asked the village if anyone has been sneaking into the royal gardens." Amina's eyes widened. "You're in danger. I can't keep coming," he said sadly. "If your father catches me, he'll lock me away." Tears filled Amina's eyes. "But what about the drum?" Jabari looked into her soul. "I will always play for you, even if you don't hear it." And just like that, he turned and disappeared into the night. 3 days passed. The palace was filled with candles, music, and the smell of sweet flowers. The royal ball had begun. Princess Amina wore a sparkling blue dress and a silver crown. Her hair was braided with gold beads, and everyone gasped when they saw her. But behind her pretty smile, Amina's heart felt heavy. The grand hall glittered. Princes from every kingdom stood in line, waiting for a dance. The king sat proudly on his throne, watching closely. He didn't know his daughter was thinking of a poor drummer boy, not any of the men before her. The first prince stepped forward. It was Prince Tahir. He bowed and held out his hand. Amina smiled politely and danced with him. Then came Prince Musa, then Prince Jaji, then more and more. One by one, they spun her around the floor. Everyone clapped and cheered. But to Amina, it all felt empty. Her heart beat quietly. Not boom, but boom. Just soft and sad. Finally, the king stood up. "Now," he shouted, "my daughter shall choose her husband. The man she picks will be the next king of Zoroma." Everyone turned to Amina. She looked at the crowd. All the princes, the shiny clothes, the loud music. But the one person she wanted wasn't there. Then something strange happened. She heard it. Boom, ba boom, boom, ba boom. Her heart jumped. It was faint like wind through trees, but she heard it. The drum. She looked around. The sound was coming from the garden. Without a word, she turned and ran out of the hall. Gasps echoed behind her. The king shouted, Amina, come back. But she didn't stop. She ran toward the music, toward the beat of her heart. Princess Amina's slippers flew across the marble floor. Her blue gown brushed the walls as she rushed through the hallway, heart pounding louder with every step. Boom, ba boom, boom, ba boom. The sound was real. The drum was calling her. She pushed open the garden doors. There, in the middle of the moonlit garden, stood Jabari. He wore his old torn shirt, fit dusty from the road. In his hands was the same little wooden drum. His eyes met hers. I thought you were dancing with a prince, he said quietly. I was, Amina replied, breathless. But my heart wasn't. Jabari smiled, a little sad. You can't choose me, Amina. Your father. My father doesn't own my heart, she said. I do. For a moment, they just stood there. The wind rustled the leaves. The stars blinked above. Then Amina walked up to him and placed her hand on the drum. Hear it, she whispered. Jabari nodded. He began to play, slow at first, then faster, stronger. The beat wrapped around her like a warm blanket. Boom, ba boom, boom, ba boom. Amina closed her eyes and danced barefoot in the grass. She didn't care about princes. She didn't care about crowns. She just wanted the music. The real music. Behind them, a voice roared. Stop this madness. King Bako stormed into the garden, guards behind him. His face was red with anger. How dare you leave the royal ball for this boy? Jabari lowered his drum. The garden fell silent. Amina stood tall. He's not just a boy. He's the only one who makes my heart beat. King Bako's face twisted in shock. Then Amina said something no one expected. I choose him. Gasps filled the air. The king stared at her, eyes wide. The guards stepped forward, and the night held its breath. King Bako's voice echoed through the garden like thunder. You choose a drummer over kings and princes. He bellowed. Are you trying to shame this kingdom? Guards surrounded Jabari, spears pointed at him. He stood very still, his drum hanging at his side. But his eyes stayed calm. He wasn't afraid, not for himself. I won't let you hurt him. Amina shouted, stepping in front of Jabari. He didn't sneak in. I invited him. The king's face grew redder. You've been meeting him in secret. A common boy with nothing. He has something no one else has, Amina said softly. He has music in his soul. He makes me feel alive. Queen Tara stepped forward then, placing a gentle hand on her husband's arm. Bako, she said calmly, let her speak. The king growled, speak then. But know this, if you choose him, you lose the crown. You live in the village with him. No throne, no riches, no protection. Amina took a deep breath. The stars above her were quiet. The night was waiting. She turned to Jabari. He didn't say a word. He just held out his hand. Amina smiled, tears in her eyes, and took it. I would rather live in a hut with him than in a castle with a stranger, she said. Gasps again. Even the guards looked shocked. Jabari gently squeezed her hand. Then King Bako did something no one expected. He laughed, not a cruel laugh, a surprised, deep laugh. His anger melted like snow in the sun. You remind me of your mother when we were young, he said quietly. She followed her heart too. Amina and Queen Tara both looked at him in shock. So be it, the king said. Let the drummer stay. News of what happened in the garden spread fast. By sunrise, the whole kingdom of Zoroma was talking. The princess chose a drummer. She turned down 10 princes. She gave up her crown. Some people laughed. Some were angry. Some thought it was foolish. But many others smiled and whispered, maybe, she's the bravest of all. In the village, children danced through the streets singing. Boom, ba boom, the princess danced. Not for gold, not for chance. She chose the boy with empty hands, who played the beat that shook the land. Jabari stayed at the palace for a few days. He was given clean clothes, food, and a room next to the royal gardens. Amina visited him every morning, bringing books, sweet fruits, and laughter. But one day Amina said, I want to see where you come from. So Jabari took her to his village, a place with red clear houses, open skies, and dusty roads. The people were surprised to see a real princess in their land. Some bowed, some stared, but Amina just smiled and helped carry a basket of yams like everyone else. That evening, Jabari sat on a big log in the village square. Children gathered, old women clapped. He began to play, boom ba boom, boom ba boom. Amina stood up and danced. Her blue dress twirled in the wind. Her laughter filled the air, and the villagers joined in, clapping, singing, stomping their feet. It wasn't a royal ball. There were no diamonds or golden shoes. But it was the happiest night of her life. And for the first time, Amina realized something. She had not lost a crown. She had found her true kingdom, in the rhythm of love, music, and truth. Weeks passed and the kingdom of Zoroma slowly changed. At first, many nobles were angry. A princess marrying a drummer. They whispered, "It's shameful." But when they saw how happy Amina was, they stopped complaining. Even the princes who were rejected returned home with respect in their hearts. She was kind, they said, and brave. King Bako watched from his throne and shook his head with a small smile. "That girl has her mother's spirit," he whispered. "She may not sit on the throne, but she rules more hearts than I ever have." One bright morning, a wedding was held, not in a palace, but in the royal gardens where it all began. The trees wore fresh leaves. Flowers bloomed in every color. Birds sang in the trees. And Jabari stood tall in a clean white shirt, his small drum beside him. Princess Amina walked down a path of petals, barefoot, glowing with joy. When she reached him, he didn't speak. He drummed, boom ba boom, boom ba boom. Amina's eyes filled with tears. It was the same beat he played the first night she saw him. The beat that made her heart dance. The rhythm that changed everything. They held hands. They made promises, not of kingdoms or riches, but of laughter, truth, music, and love. When the ceremony ended, the people cheered, danced, and clapped. Even the queen swayed to the music. The king raised his cup and said, "To the drummer who stole my daughter's heart, may you always play the beat of joy."